what we are seeing in front of us is not a blank screen. It is what Delhi looked like by the end of March. And this is absolutely unexpected given the time and the season as well. But what happened? What went wrong or what went right that fog engulfed our capital? Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we are going to understand that what changed that Delhi had to see such dense fog, what was responsible for it and how it is very clearly associated with climate change as well. So let us begin with understanding that what exactly has happened. When we are talking about this dense fog which was seen in Delhi, and when we are talking about this particular fog, this was basically radiation fog. Now the main characteristic that we need to take note here is the fact that this is a radiation fog and also this is unseasonal. Because when you're talking about peak season that we find fog especially in North India and Delhi as well, it lasts from December to max February. And when late in March there is visibility less than 50 meters, dense fog, temperatures well below 10 degrees Celsius of normally what it is seen as of now, and extremely high humidity, it has started to raise questions. Now when we are talking about this, we have to understand that yes, this is not the time where fog shows up. So this clearly shows that there is some sort of atmospheric instability. There is some sort of seasonal shift pattern lying in front of us, and there is very important role of synoptic systems such as Western disturbances. So we are going to talk about all of this. Starting with Western disturbances, what exactly it is, because that is the most important fundamental behind understanding why Delhi looked like this. So when we are talking about Western disturbances, we have to understand that they are nothing but a type of cyclone. They are extratropical cyclones. Now if you are talking about cyclones, are they emerging in India? Is that why we are seeing rainfall? No. These are extratropical cyclones which are not germinating in India, but rather they are originating over Mediterranean Sea or Caspian and Black Sea. Now these cyclones are usually seen in mid latitudes. So when we are talking about, let's go back to this diagram and see, when we are talking about mid latitudes, presence of Caspian Sea, Black Sea and then Mediterranean Sea here on, we get to understand that because of low pressure systems, one reason. Second, because of frontal activity. When we see cold air mass and hot air mass colliding, coming towards each other and forming fronts, which leads to cyclonogenesis, that is where such extratropical cyclones are formed. Now how they are coming from Mediterranean Sea, Caspian Sea to India? Now that is a very important question. They are coming because of the jet streams. Which jet stream is allowing them to come to India? They are being facilitated by subtropical westerly jet stream, which facilitates their movement straight up from Mediterranean Sea towards India. Now once they are coming via this region, this is where they gradually gather moisture. Now once they have gathered moisture, they are moving towards, this is where they find a orographic barrier, that is Himalayas. Now they have orographic barrier in front of them, so what will happen? Let's see. They have a orographic barrier in front of them. They are coming, they will move upwards. This is where condensation will take place and then precipitation. So condensation and cloud formation happens because of the orographic barrier which is present, that is Himalayas. Now let us revise the process. Where we are seeing presence of these extratropical cyclones, Mediterranean and Caspian Sea. Their movement towards India is because of the fact that they move from west to east. It is a westerly jet stream. That means the origin point is west. It will be moving towards east. Now once they find an orographic barrier, the moisture that they have gathered across West Asia and the regions in between, that is where that moisture condenses and forms cloud when it finds Himalayas and it is moving upwards, and that is responsible for rainfall in North India, especially during winter times. Now generally if you look at western disturbance activity, it peaks during December to February, and when we are talking about spring, that is March and April, it is very moderate. After that point of time, it becomes absolutely rare, and western disturbance as a phenomena is of great importance to India as a country because it contributes to agriculture, especially rabi crops such as wheat. Then if we are talking about western disturbance, they contribute to Himalayan snow and also river recharge at this point of time where monsoon is a little over June and July. And it is also responsible for moderating the temperature which is moving from winters to summers gradually. Now this is the main factor which enabled the dense fog which is seen in Delhi. But are there any factors responsible? So when we are talking about western disturbance, this is a time where we do see the presence. But at the same time, when we are talking about fog in late March, it is not. Now this is where we understand that western disturbances, which is moderate in terms of a phenomena during this time it was not. It was intense and it was widespread. We also found that there was a drop in temperature and strong moisture retention was also present, which has not been seen in recent years, especially for March. March has definitely seen the time where the temperatures are dropping. For example, if you look over the years, 2024 saw a deep dip in terms of temperature, but this consistent pattern, especially when we are talking about March, indicates that the seasonal patterns are also changing, which had a lot of impact, especially in Delhi, be it in terms of social impact because a festival such as Eid al-Fitr, that was affected. When we talk about congestion management, that was affected. But one positive upside was that the pollutants were cleared off and the AQI finally dropped to double digits in the capital, which has been raging over 200, 300, especially for past 3 to 4 months. Now, when we are linking and summing up all of this, we clearly get to see that this is something that can work as a case study for climate change, because western disturbances behavior is changing, the frequency and the variability that has increased with it. Off-season occurrences of western disturbances are happening more, especially for March and April where it is moderate and rare, and the intensity fluctuation is also high. There is no prediction which can be made about it. And once we are trying to understand this variability, this changing behavior, we have a direct link. For example, when we are talking about Arctic warming, this is where we get to see that this is what affects the jet stream flow. If Arctic, the temperature in that region is increasing, then the jet streams would be wavier and they will be slower. So if jet streams are moving like this and warming happens, then they will be further wavier and the movement here will be slow. What will happen because of that? The weather systems will be persistent and the anomalies which will be created will be way extreme. And this is where we find that what we are witnessing is mix of what exists. Dense fog did not come up out of the blue. It came because of the extreme western disturbance behavior which led to an extreme drop in temperature, humidity saturation and more. But the answer why it has happened, why western disturbance so intense, now the answer here is climate change itself. And as a result, what is feared of climate change is the impacts that we cannot control, and India has seen it yet again because agriculture was affected because of crop damage, because of the untimely rain that happened. Urban areas, they were fogged, flooded and disrupted, and disaster management is the place where it had to manage all of it, and they are at their toes. They have to increase their scrutiny and increase their research and understand that what needs to be done and when. Now that was all from my side. I would like to leave you with a question that what can be the way forward and learning from this. Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much.